You might want to listen closely to the next interview because it has allowed me to reminisce about I call it the front room, but I know a lot of people call it the living room. Now, a reminiscence room to mark this year's Windrush celebrations, and it is about celebrations. I always think, I don't want Windrush to be remembered in terms of the scandal. There's a lot more there. Anyway, the reminiscence room is open until July the 30th in Ealing. Now, it was set up by the Caribbean and African collective Ealing. You're invited to step back in time. Yes, in time, into a 1960s living room and feel the vibes from days gone by with music, storytelling, films and so much more. Joining me in the studio now is the chair of the collective, Michelle Brooks. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
Tell us about the collective first. Let's start there.
Okay. So back in December 2023, a group of organisations, a group of entrepreneurs and businesses, charities in the area of black-owned businesses predominantly, decided that they wanted to get together and do something where we had our own building in our own space, something for our culture in the borough of Ealing. We've always had quite a low-key presence before, and we thought, let's do something together. So lots of people, Carleen Bender, people like Margaret Noel from Descendants, lots of quite high-profile business people and charity runners of themselves got together. Carleen looped me in because she knew what passionate person I was about my culture. I have my TV production company. She knew my company and she thought she'd be a good person to bring in on board. So I wasn't the first person there, but I was very passionate about it once I heard about it. I thought I'd love to be part of this collective and champion it to getting our own legacy space in the borough. Tell me more about the black community in Ealing. Is it predominantly Caribbean or is it African? Is it a big community? I would say it's a sizable community. It's largely Caribbean. Mm-hmm. They came here, been here for hundreds and hundreds of years, but a lot of them came in the 60s, as we know, or on the Windrush, on various other boats. Some of them flew here on the plane. But yeah, it's a decent sized community and they're very passionate about their culture, mainly Caribbean, but there's lots of Africans moving to the area now. And yeah, we go from the carnivals, Acton Carnival, Hanwell mm-hmm. Carnival, all kinds of things that go on in the area. There's hairdressers like Michael Sylvester's, which people know Sylvester's on the High Street. Diligence has been there a long, long time. We had a bookshop back in the day. Mm-hmm. Eric Huntley had a bookshop, which was Bogle L'Ouverture, which a lot of people remember growing up. Obviously, people know about Steve McQueen, the filmmaker, and how he went to Drayton Manor, but people like myself, we went to that high school as well, and we're really passionate about what we do. So there's always been that sort of passion about the culture. We've always enjoyed books from all over the diaspora, but that bookshop really kept people going in terms of getting artists from the Caribbean and from America to come to Ealing and talk about things. We had a lot of artists back in the 60s who would come and share their poetry and get their poetry published through Bogle L'Ouverture, the Walter Rodney bookshop. And so it's a very passionate, tight-knit community clustered around certain parts of West Ealing. If you know where they are, they kind of keep their head down, but they know they all like to come to certain dances. There are social clubs, coffee clubs, there's dinner clubs like United Anglo-Caribbean who are part of what we do. They run dinner clubs as well, and we ourselves run poetry nights, open mics, storytelling, and all different kinds of things for the diaspora. We make sorrel, we have cake, and name it. Tell me, in terms of obviously when people first came, you kind of knew that Jamaicans, for example, went to Brixton. Mm-hmm. Would you say in terms of, you're saying that it's very much Caribbean, would you know different islands? My parents, for example, are from Jamaica. So in terms of Ealing, still a lot of Jamaicans or a mixture? I would say a lot of Jamaicans. I guess we are more loud and proud. My family are from Jamaica, but there's Bajans, there's Colleen is from Trinidad, and it's all, I would say, a lot of islands, but yes, Jamaicans, you always know about the Jamaicans. They're always out there up front. You hear us you hear us. Honestly, you hear us before exactly. The laughter is loud, and absolutely.
Yeah, very proud.
Absolutely.
So A reminiscence room.
Yes.
What is, for people that don't know, tell the people at the back, what is a reminiscence room?
Okay. Traditionally, a reminiscence room is a space where somebody might go of a certain generation, an older generation, to harken back to times gone by. So they'll sit there, there'll be familiar wallpaper, familiar music, there'll be familiar carpets, there'll be things which maybe they've been told are not de rigueur or of the time, and they have to move on and get rid of them, and they don't want to get rid of them, but they have to get rid of them. So when people get to a certain age, their 70s or 80s, they like to go back to the time where they was young and where they remembered all the good times, whether it was the club nights they went to and all this kind of thing. The reminiscence room is set up to remind them of those things. When I initially had the idea, it was to do with dementia, and we partnered with the Imperial College because they were studying mental health in particular in the black community. A lot of us don't come forward to get tested, to get DNA swabs and all those kind of things. So they liked the idea of me doing the reminiscence room, a Windrush one, so black people would engage with it, come and perhaps think about the idea about dementia and mental health, maybe get a DNA swab, like a little thing across their tongue, and then they can scientifically look at the black diaspora and see what is it about us that might make us predisposed to getting mental health issues like dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever, or what is it about our diet or the way we live, that kind of thing, and what can they do to encourage us more to come forward and get tested. That was the initial idea, was to get the black community involved in the NHS, sort of the health and well-being aspect of it.
I had a list and I completely forgot from my list the wallpaper until you said the velvet, the flock velvet wallpaper, because we didn't paint the wall.
No.
We were happy to have. So my list that I've got here, right? So I've got the, what did we call the chair backs? It wasn't called a chair back. What's it called?
Well, I mean, we were calling them chair backs.
What was it? Chair back, right.
Chair backs,
chair back, right? The plastic, I'm sorry.
Yes, the plastic
on the sofa.
Yes.
The pattern carpet.
Yes. A lot of us were not allowed in our living rooms.
Exactly.
When I was very small, I wasn't allowed in because I was
a showpiece.
It was a showpiece.
It was a showpiece
to showcase your wealth.
Yes.
And what you'd achieved.
Yes.
A lot of us had come from a place where maybe we shared houses or shared rooms. So the moment you got to a place where you had your own house, you had your own living room, all the things in there were for best. The plates, the fish, every single thing that was for best. And your children didn't appreciate the struggle and what you'd gone through to get those things. So they, for example, there might be a cabinet full of gorgeous glasses.
Why did we do that? Why did we have to have the cabinet with the glasses? And the glasses, you have the glasses that you normally use in the kitchen, but you've got the glasses was full, and you had to have a cabinet where you could see the wealth of the glasses.
Absolutely.
Why?
Because we wanted to show we had something. A lot of people...
Glasses.
Everything meant something. You might say that, but everything means something to somebody who's come from a different culture, and they want to show that they're getting somewhere, not just to themselves but to their family back home.
So what about, the other things that I was thinking about, the figurines.
Yes.
What is it? We love a figurine.
Yes.
But also we had the bar that was the globe.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, then you had the gram, the blue spot
We've
gram.
got a Sobel stereogram. We found an original Sobel.
Really?
Yes, a poor guy was like moving out of his house into a nursing home, and he posted it on Facebook. And because at the time we'd got some funding, we were able to go and grab that from him and tell him it was going to a loving home. So that was, it was beautiful.
And we didn't have it in the living room, but if you think about culturally and you think about things we're reminiscing, the paraffin heater.
Yes.
I don't even know. Was it
the
only
amount
black
of people
that did paraffin heater?
Well, you say that. We did initially tour this exhibition around Shepherd's Bush and Fulham. We went to Shepherd's Bush Green, Shepherd's Bush Market, White City Place, and also the Royal College of Art. And in Shepherd's Bush Market, I had people of all nationalities come up to me. I had a guy from Iran tell me they were still using those heaters in Iran.
No, because the thing is, when I think about it, and I can't remember, did my mum send me or did she go herself, that you had the little container, and then you went to the petrol station.
That's right.
Hold on, that must have been, oh my God.
The amount of people telling me that their cousin or their auntie got a burn from those things, they were so dangerous.
Oh, and
honestly.
then the other thing that you have, and we've still got it now, is the pictures from back in the day that had the, I don't know, it's like the old type frames.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
so my mum's got nursing pictures,
Yes.
and I've got pictures of my stepdad, but also every home that you went in, and it's so ironic, every black home, certainly in the Caribbean, that you went in, you had that picture of Jesus Christ.
Yes, yes. We haven't put that up. But one thing people forget about is the Axminster carpet. Now,
oh my God, Michelle.
We've got a gorgeous orange Axminster carpet.
Orange.
And listen to me, we've got a full-size one. Somebody only took it out of their house a couple of years ago, and it's beautiful. Back in the 60s, this country had loads of factories, and Axminster was a big, big thing.
Yes.
The Axminster carpet, we talk about the G-plan, the G-plan sofas. If you look at what the factories we had, G-plan was high quality sofas, armchairs, and we managed to get a G-plan armchairs to come, for this exhibition.
Yeah.
So all these things, you can touch them, you can see them, if you're that generation, definitely come down.
But you know what? I just don't think that you are going to look at wooden floors in the same way.
No.
Or just kind of, I don't know, feng shui kind of,
the wall,
it's
the
just
quality.
not the same stuff that we're going to, no, it's not going to be the same. So in terms of the Reminiscence Room,
yes.
What are you aiming to get out of this, and who can attend?
Anybody can attend, anybody of any age. We are welcoming young people to come and see how we lived, how our parents lived, how our grandparents lived back in the day. We're welcoming people of all different generations. The actual centre itself is only open now until September because we do have to move.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is generate interest and also raise money for a crowdfunder so that we can actually keep this thing going and move it to another space in Ealing. But it's literally one of those things where we only have 2 more months left in that space, and then we're going to be moving on. So we want to raise interest and raise awareness about the Caribbean culture, the 60s, that vibe. Our high street in West Ealing took a big hit from the pandemic, and so many shops were closed that we partnered with Set Space, who are an artistic social enterprise, and they take over buildings that are empty and turn them into art spaces. So we partnered with them for CACE to come in to the high street for 7 or 8 months and take over this space. So we want to carry on the movement. We want to make sure people know about what we're doing, but we want to have a legacy space in the borough of Ealing for our community that's permanent and wholly owned by ourselves, because we don't have anything that's wholly owned in our area. And we really want to raise awareness. So this exhibition is one of those ways of us highlighting the black community, how we lived, how we're part of the diaspora, what we contributed to the whole situation, and also just let people know, we're here. There are talented people in our borough we want to celebrate as part of CACE, as part of the centre. People like Steve McQueen, like Kwame Kwei Armah, who grew up in the area, Eric Huntley, who's got a bookshop. So we want a centre that reflects the talent that came from Ealing, that maybe people don't think of. People might think of black community like Brixton or Hackney,
but not Ealing.
They don't think of Ealing. And Ealing Studios, Ealing Music, we've got Jamal Edwards, MBE, who's another Ealing alumni.
Sad loss.
A very sad loss. And these people want to be celebrated. We want to celebrate them in the building. So this exhibition is a way of getting people through the doors, just getting the numbers up, raising awareness, getting people to see how we lived, how we contributed, and all the things we brought to the borough.
Michelle, nothing's for free these days.
No.
How much does it cost?
How much will it cost? We're trying to raise 65,000 for a lease and one single member of staff, and enough money to do up the place that we have. So that's where we're starting from.
So if anyone wants to come and look at the room, do they have to pay?
Yes. There's different workshops. You can come in free of charge, but there are £7.50 workshops. We're doing hair wrapping. We're doing things in the space like poetry. We're doing different workshops. So the individual workshops as well, they have a different fee. If you go on to Eventbrite and search for the Caribbean African Collective Ealing, you can see all the events come up on that page.
Just finally, before I get the website again, it's the summer now. You've got this, and then by the time Carnival comes and you turn around, it is Black History Month.
I know.
Have you got any plans for Black History Month?
We've got plans for Carnival and certainly plans for Black History. Absolutely.
Wow.
With this exhibition, it's one of those exhibitions you can show different sides to different parts of our life. So yes, we're going to put a little spin on that exhibition for Black History, but also for Armistice Day. We're going to show the forgotten soldiers. So all the pictures that are in the room get switched around to soldiers' pictures from the world wars, so you get to know a little bit back about the black soldiers from the Caribbean, from the Commonwealth, who fought for this country, and get a bit of education about that as well. So we've got different things planned, but go on the website cace.org.uk and find out all the things we've got coming up.
In terms of Windrush, for me, I don't want it to be about the scandal. That's the only thing. For you, 3 words that I suppose describe the movement, the things that our parents did, the importance, the legacy, whatever it is.
Yes.
Just finally bring that home for us.
Ooh, I would say excitement, opportunity and fearlessness, because it took a lot. Some of them were like 19 to jump on a plane or jump on a boat for 3 weeks, not knowing what you're going to find. I remember me at 19. It took a lot for me to just go to drama school. That was a big deal, you know, and it wasn't too far, but they had to jump on a plane or a boat and separate themselves from their whole family to come and find a new thing, a new setup in this country. It must have been difficult.
And also, Michelle, I just think, you know, I always have dreams of going, you know, leaving and going somewhere, and there's always kind of all the reluctance. They were invited here, and they came to a country, you know, when I go to Jamaica, the one thing I notice, I'm the majority now.
Yeah.
Imagine that you have been in a country where you are the majority, and then you come here and you know the racism, the blatant racism, but still they rose, you know, like, and still I rise.
Yes.
So we have to kind of really big up the people that first came, the people that have gone, the people that are here, the legacy that they left. And as I said, I'm not putting down the scandal or anything like that, but I do feel that there is more about our history and what we have done for the world, let alone the country, let alone London. Michelle, just give out that website again for CACE.
For CACE, it's CACE, CACE.org.uk.
Michelle, it's been a pleasure. It just reminded me about the Axminster carpet, and also
the stereogram,
the
pineapple,
and the
ice bucket.
Oh my god! Coming up straight after the news, I'm going to be talking to 2 filmmakers, but we're going to squeeze in a little bit of Dre Island and Popcorn.